Hello and welcome to BW Business World's Indian Hospitality Summit and Awards 2025. Thank you so much, Anjali, for joining in. You have had a great panel on DEI discussion, and it was a detailed one. You discussed so many initiatives, what is happening on ground, so much about actions. Tell me, when we talk about DEI in 2025, what is your definition of it?
I think a lot of people on the panel today and even during the course of our discussions are saying the same thing. It's about taking everybody together. It is about not leaving anybody behind and not being judgmental about how people are boxed into certain roles based on how they look or how they dress or the skill set that they have, but get them because they can add value, and together you can create greater value. So that for me is really DEI.
I'm not too sure, is this a India only problem statement, but when we talk about change in mindset, it's a hard stone to move. In India, especially in deeper parts, we today in National Capital speaking about this might change somebody's mindset, but it's difficult to change perspectives, change mindset. How do you look at this problem, and what's the solution
so
for this?
Firstly, I want to say that it's not just India. I think this is a global issue. As you know, I've worked for international brands. I've lived in almost in many countries, whether it was in the Middle East or elsewhere, and traveled also. And as we talk to our colleagues and our peers in other countries, everybody has the same situation. So if you talk about gender diversity, probably US has a bigger problem than even us. So it's a learning. I think it's about sharing best practices. It's about bringing about change. You rightly said is very difficult, but it's also about communicating the baby steps and about little achievements that will then add up to a bigger story. It's about exchanging notes, like Aradhana and I were just discussing. We should connect back and see what Lemon Tree is doing, see what Leela is doing. Can we learn from each other? Can we collaborate on a few initiatives? And only then can you really bring about true change.
Very interesting. Now, just to get deeper on what you are doing at your hotel, tell me some of the initiatives that you're working on and that we can expect from you.
Yeah, so we've already done a little bit of work, whether it was the whole campaign around Leela Empowers Her, which had 3 pillars. Basically, the first pillar was about empowering women within the Leela ecosystem and encouraging women in leadership, because as a company, as a brand, we believe in balanced leadership all across, not just at a certain level. I think the second pillar there was to, as an industry, empower women. So we launched, like I said, Chefs at the Leela. Globally, there is less than 1% equity in the kitchens, and we saw that as an issue, and we said, as a key industry player, we need to do something about it. And what started off initially as a pure play marketing initiative, event, activation, has really developed into a program, a full-fledged training program, where currently we have 36 women chefs training to become chefs in the kitchens. Now it's all about how do you elevate this, how do you take it to the next level, how do you sustain it, and what can we learn from it to be able to address the issues that we face now, so that next year it becomes better and bigger. The third pillar of this campaign was really centered around how Leela as a brand empowers the community, because unless you empower the community, you can't bring about change at grassroots. So we started to first support the education of the girl child through our partnership with Kailash Satyarthi Children's Foundation. These are children who have been rescued from child labor, child marriage, child abuse. Then we took a step further and we said, let's work with women-only organizations. So for our sourcing, whether it is the tea or whether it is the laundry bags where consumption is very high, let's work with organizations that are primarily working with either women-owned and operated, or have largely a women workforce. So Jalinga, for example, has 85% women workforce, and they're carbon neutral. So the ESG bit and the diversity, supporting women, gender, it all forms a nice cohesive plan that you're committed to. And then we looked at our upcycling of our flowers. We use a lot of flowers in our hotel. We're amongst the only hotel company that I know that upcycles their flowers. Travel and Leisure USA awarded us with the Global Vision Award for that particular initiative, and we convert them into incense sticks, which is infused with our signature fragrance. The important thing there is that through this initiative, we support 300 marginalized women who are employed by Pool.
That's huge.
So that is the baby steps that I'm saying. But the challenge is, how do we elevate this? What next from here? How do we nurture this that it becomes almost like a movement, and movement led by the brand, but you're taking the industry, you're taking people, you're taking community, and you're making a difference in whichever way you can.
Such intensive plan in progress, and all of the initiatives looks exciting because this will move the needle in the right direction.
Well, hopefully, at least that's the aim, and that's a little effort that we are putting on our
I'm
part.
hopeful too. Just the final bit of our conversation. When you look at India as a big picture, 10 years down the line, in the backdrop of DEI, how different does it look?
I think with all the efforts that we're making, we will be ahead of the curve globally.
How lovely.
And that is how positive I am. I think we still have a lot of work to do. While many organizations have taken big steps, whether it's handling gender diversity or whether it is working with the specially abled workforce, we still have a little bit of work, at least in the hospitality industry, to do with the LGBTQI integration. So I think 5 years from now, 10 years from now, we will be way ahead of the world. That is something I can say confidently with the efforts that we are making.
I'm looking forward to it, and this looks exciting. We wish you all the very best for all your plans. Thank you so much for speaking with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.